What's good, everybody? It's the Clown with Cav show. We got part 2 of the Kyle Rittenhouse story. Look, I came out with the first story last year, and I was one of those people that, yes, I did jump to conclusions. Yes, I didn't understand all the facts. So I was kind of just like, yeah, dude, Kyle should be in jail. But, in reality, when we found out all the facts, everything that really got involved, was Kyle Rittenhouse really guilty? No, I don't think he was. I really do think he was in self-defense. As much as I kind of disagree with the whole situation, we have to look at the facts, and the facts line up to where it does make sense. Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent. He is. My whole thing is dealing with the whole story is my one problem of it is showing up with the loaded AR at the protest. It's like automatically a protest. You understand that there are people that are going to riot. There are people that are going to carry guns and try to kill other people. So for his defense, it was self-defense. I mean, we look at the first instance, he got about 5 or 6 counts that were going against Kyle, okay? So he was facing life here, okay? In a way, a lot of people can disagree with it, say what you want. His first victim, Joseph Rosenbaum, I mean, his situation, when we find out who was this guy, who was Joseph, well, we dug our research and dug really deep. Well, he was a rapist, dude. He was a pedophile, so, in a way, it was like, he kind of asked for it. He went after Kyle recklessly. He was chasing Kyle. There was video of him chasing Kyle. So it's like, for him, it's like, what good does you chasing after a dude that has a loaded AR? Like, is that smart? But we understand that he is a pedophile, this kid, this guy named Joseph. So, really, and looking at that, it's like, well, he was asking for it, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a pedophile already. He's a rapist. So, you know what? It sucks, but, you got what you asked for. You were chasing him down, trying to touch yet another underage guy. At the time, Kyle, back in August 25th, I believe it was in 2020, where he was chasing after Kyle. He was 17. He was underage, and you got what you asked for. You were chasing him down, threatening him and all this stuff, and then Kyle turns around and shoots him. And then, Joseph Rosenbaum, he's dead. A convicted rapist. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we look at Kyle, we can say what we want. At first, I thought it was white privilege. In kind of a way. Everybody will have their own opinion on it and say, how are you going to say that's white privilege? Well, let's say if Kyle was Hispanic or a different race other than white, okay? Let's say he was completely, or from Iran or something, right? Do you think, somebody maybe would have confronted him and said, well, why are you carrying an AR-15 or, whatever the case was? I just think if he wasn't white, somebody would have confronted him, okay? That's all I'm saying. That's why I said it in a way there was a little white privilege involved, because if he was Hispanic or something and cops would have showed up, it definitely would have asked him something. That's just part of America, dude. Racism still exists here in America, and we see it yet again. I mean, we're seeing it in a different trial with the Aubrey trial. I mean, we saw the two guys go after this guy, with a loaded shotgun. This guy's jogging and shit. You're going to chase him down and then claim self-defense when you showed up with the shotgun? That's another case. But for Kyle, man, it really, then count 2, it was first-degree reckless with a weapon. Degree of a weapon. So that was count 2. He got off on that. Then count 6, we'll skip some. Possession of a dangerous weapon. Judge dropped that this Monday. Said, you know what? No, Kyle, whatever. But the Anthony Huber, that situation, this was crazy, okay? This kid, okay, was chasing after him with a skateboard. There was video of this guy, Anthony, that tried to hit Kyle with the skateboard, dude. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, it's like, why are some of these protesters going after these guys with loaded guns? You know what I'm saying? And Kyle, he has an assault rifle, dude. Like, what's the skateboard gonna do you? You know what I'm saying? Like, chasing after him. So there was videos of a couple guys chasing after Kyle. Not just a couple. There was like 3 or 4 of them. So at the time, I'm thinking, watching these videos, like, why are you chasing after Kyle with a loaded gun, bro? Like, are you really that stupid? Like, straight up. And then Anthony, hey, you went after him first, and that was definitely 100%, yet again, self-defense. You threw the skateboard at him. You were attempting to hurt him, hit him across the head and neck area, And then Kyle turns around and shoots him a couple times. And then boom, that's it. Your life is over off that one mistake. Yeah, and we look at Anthony and say, was that worth it, bro? Was that worth it, dude? Was that worth it? No. That cost him your life. That one mistake cost you your life, and that's it. So, rest in peace to Anthony, but at the same time, it's like, why go after him after a skateboard, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got a loaded gun. That makes no sense. And then court number 4, first degree intentional homicide. And then like I said, Huber leaps at him, attempts to throw a skateboard at him and all this other shit. And then Kyle shoots him, dude. Just like that. And it just goes to show you here in America, you should not mess with anybody that has a loaded gun, let alone a AR. Like, come on, dude. How dumb can you get, dude? What good is a skateboard gonna do you? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dude. This isn't a movie. This is real life, dude. These are protests, okay? And the thing is, like, showing up with a loaded gun in a protest, I just think automatically you're just kind of like, well, I could get that. Self-defense, all this. And then people say Kyle was there to protect, somebody's lot. I don't know if it was a relative's lot, whatever the case was. But there's a lot of bad things that went on that night, okay, at that protest. So, we could say all this other stuff. But, at the end of the day, these facts are lining up. Then count 5, the guy who survived, Gage Grossbert's, look, he got shot in the arm, and he went towards Kyle with a handgun. He even said in court that he did point the handgun at Kyle, and there was video of his gun straight up on Kyle. So, at the time, when this first all broke out, I was one of those people that just jumped to conclusions, didn't understand the facts, and was like, yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse, he should be in jail. He really should. He should be in jail for his life. But, looking at some of the videos, I'm thinking, you know what? Should Kyle be in jail? You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are going after Kyle, literally going after him, chasing him down. And then we saw Gage point the gun. He said in court, he said, one of the guys was asking him, hey, did you point the gun at him? Did you go towards him? And he said yes. So he went at Kyle yet again. And Gage, he's got to feel lucky that he's still alive, that he got shot in the arm and not the heart or the head area. Like, for real. And then Kyle, he's running down. There was another iffy situation about Kyle, at the end of the protest where he's gone for about an hour or so before he turns himself into the police. My thing is, what was he doing during that time? And he tells the lawyers that, hey, my phone died, all this stuff. I think, what Kyle did during that time before he turned himself in, he called one of his buddies, or he found out that, hey, I am on the news. I'm all over Twitter. I'm all over social media. I have to turn myself in, okay, and claim self-defense, because if I don't turn myself in, how's that going to make me look? That's going to make him look guilty, right? So Kyle, he had no choice. He had to turn himself in. I think one of his friends was probably like, hey, bro, you got to turn yourself in. You got to go to the cops right now. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can't just, like, skip it. No, you have to go right now. Like, right now, and tell him the whole story and all this stuff, and go get that. But Gage, I don't understand. Why would you go, pointing a gun at him, pointing a gun at Kyle, and then Kyle turns around, shoots basically his arm off. And we saw Gage right there just, like, standing there, and, like, we saw Gage even ask him questions like, bro, did you just shoot that guy? What are you doing? And we saw Kyle Rittenhouse tell him, hey, look, I'm going to the police. That's where I'm going right now. So I do think Kyle, in a way, yes, he is. Ultimately, at the end of the day, he is innocent, yes. But do I like some of his judgments leading up to this protest? Absolutely not. Do I like Kyle Rittenhouse showing up to this protest with a loaded AR-15? Absolutely not. I think right there that's asking for trouble. Now, let's say Kyle didn't show up with an AR. What if these things happen? And a lot of people say, well, Kyle probably would have died. And that may be so. Or, let's look at it from a different picture. Let's say Kyle didn't show up. Maybe some of these men who went after Kyle would have never went after him. Was Kyle a target? You know what I'm saying? Like, did the gun cause people to go after him? Which doesn't really make sense, right? To think that, somebody with an assault rifle, why would that cause more attention to you? I don't know, but you're at a protest here, dude. This is a protest, and people are losing their minds. They're not thinking straight. Tempers are up. Anger's high right now. Everything's not going right, okay? And I think everything at that protest went wrong. It went wrong. According to Murphy's Law. If it will go wrong, it will go wrong, dude. And that's what went wrong at this protest, dude. It's crazy, but I was yet again, just like most of society, jumped to conclusions, didn't understand the full story, and really just was like, yeah, Kyle Rittenhouse, he should be in jail for life. But then we look at it, look at the evidence, look at the case, and say, you know what? Some of these guys like Joseph Rosenbaum, he asked for it, dude. A rapist, he asked for it. Yeah, he was trying to touch another minor, and Kyle Rittenhouse, he asked for it, bro. You went after him. You were chasing him. There's video of you chasing Kyle Rittenhouse down the street, dude. What are we gonna say? You know what I'm saying? And to me, I just think for the third victim, Engage, I do think he does feel blessed. I do think he does feel like, man, like I'm lucky to be alive right now. I should have never pointed the gun at Kyle. I should have never went at Kyle. I should have never tested Kyle. And I got what I asked for. I got shot in the arm. I could have got shot in the head and been dead and not even been on trial here. You know what I'm saying? I think for Kyle, it is a blessing in disguise for Gage surviving. Because when we look at the whole story and say, well, there's two people dead and one people injured, would have looked better. It would have looked way worse with three people dead. You know what I'm saying? And we saw witnesses take the stand and say, the only sketchy thing about Kyle is he was smoking cigarettes there. And people were like, oh, was he nervous? Well, if you're chain smoking cigarettes, that's automatically, people, that's a nervous reaction anyway, right? If somebody's chain smoking cigarettes. I just think for Kyle being so young, 17, that was my only misstep with him was bringing an AR, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole thing, it's like, what was the point of it? Was it to protect the law or was it to protect yourself? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, it might rub people the wrong way and say, you know what, he should be in jail. But the facts line up, and they do. And in court, the facts say, hey, people were going after Kyle. So Kyle, he is innocent, dude. Now, what's this mean for the rest of Kyle's life? His life's definitely going to change. I do think he will probably get rich from this. From all the media, all the publicity, all this other stuff. But I think for Kyle, man, his mom coming out and saying some silly stuff like Kyle would do this again. It's like, man, like, dude, she should have never said some shit like that. If I'm the parent of this, I would say, no, he does not need to do this again. He does not need to show up with a protest with an AR again. I don't think Kyle needs to. I think if Kyle does this again and shows up with an AR, I do think it's playing with fire. I really do. I think, going to a protest, number one, you have to understand the consequences of even going. You have to understand that people are going to be fighting. You have to understand people are going to test you at a protest, dude. This was because of Jacob Blake, the man who got shot by police. So, the whole story, it's crazy, dude. The riots, everything. And I think, destroying businesses, innocent businesses, that's not good for the community. And I think Kyle, in a way, was trying to help that and bring med kits there and all this stuff. But, at the end of the day, he is innocent. All the counts were dropped, all the felonies, all that stuff, everything, he's innocent. That's what they proved today. But I think, at the bigger picture, looking at Kyle Rittenhouse's story, I think people need to learn from this story. They need to learn from Kyle Rittenhouse and say, do I need to show up with an AR? Do I need to be armed at a protest? Or could I do it maybe the peaceful way and say, we need to bring peace to America. We don't need to be shooting each other. Yes, and I get that, self-defense, all that, and we could say it both sides and say, well, Kyle would have died, or this and that, maybe Kyle wouldn't have been a target if he didn't have a gun, you know what I'm saying, or maybe Kyle would have stayed at the lot instead of walking around with other people there, and it wasn't like Kyle was the only one with a loaded gun. There was hundreds of people that had guns, that were strapped up, that were really ready to go. I just think for Kyle's situation, it helped him. Obviously, yes, it did help him be white. That's just the facts of here in America. If he was other race, I do think it definitely would have went down a little differently. And that might rub people the wrong way, but that's just the reality of America, bro. That's how it is, dude. I mean, we can't just say ignore the facts, ignore the truth of how America is right now in 2021. And this happened last year. Not much has changed. There's still violence right now. There's still school shootings that are happening right now. I just think for somebody, a teenager, to show up to a protest with a loaded gun, that's automatically asking for trouble. And I think in a way, Rittenhouse was asking for trouble, or at least trying to protect trouble, right? At least trying to protect his life or others' lives, whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, in the eyes of America, he's innocent. He's innocent. I mean, it's crazy, right? I mean, it sounds crazy. It looks crazy. On paper, it's crazy. Two people dead, one injured in his situation. But I think looking at the bigger picture for Kyle, I think bring peace here. As the younger generation, the teenagers right now, don't do what Kyle did. Don't show up to a protest with a gun, dude. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And then other people would say, well, Cap, he'd be dead if he didn't. Yeah, that might be the case, or it might be the other side and say none of this would have happened. You know what I'm saying? They would have attacked Rittenhouse or whatever the case was. But maybe the gun did save Kyle Rittenhouse. Maybe you're right. Maybe if Kyle didn't show up with a loaded AR, he would have been dead. Nobody really knows, right? But I think at the end of the day, what really helped Kyle was, the defendants come on. Like Gage saying, yes, I did come at Kyle. Yes, I did point my handgun at Kyle. You know what I'm saying? And that right there, that's when they won the case. That's when Kyle Rittenhouse was innocent, when Gage said, yes, I did point the gun at him. I went towards Kyle. Yes. He said that straight up in court. So right then and there, we learned from that. But I think, looking at the bigger picture, I think we need peace, man. An eye for an eye leaves us blind. Shootings, killings, an eye for an eye, all that. We're going to continue to go down this road. We're going to continue to lose innocent lives. Okay? Just like some of the lives that were lost at this protest. So I think this is definitely a learning curve, not just for the teenagers, but for here in America, where we're going to go in the future right now, dealing with the shootings, dealing with the riots, dealing with the violence and the hatred that we're seeing yet every single day here in America. I think we need to learn from it. It's the Clown with Cab show. Let's go!